My name's Patrick Newworth. I'm from Keller, Texas. I work with metal, heavy metal. I hand bend and weld all different kinds of furniture. And today, I'm going to make the surreal bookcase. This is my studio. First thing I need to do to get started on the bookcase is to cut 4 2-foot sections of 8-inch steel with my plasma cutter. I've got to bend each shelf into its next form. And I'm going to do that by slowly working it into the jig. Just like that. Now I'm going to do that same thing to the next 3 shelves. This is when my furniture really gets bent out of shape. The next thing I have to do is arrange the shelves into position from top to bottom. Now that I've got that top shelf in place, I have to move over to the saw, start cutting all the pieces for the scroll work, and bring everything together. Alright, I got my 1/2-inch hot roll steel. The next thing I've got to do is cut the 6 pieces for the scroll work to make up the design of the back of the bookcase. Who needs spinach? I get my daily requirements iron right here. Next thing I'm going to do is insert the bar into the vise, and I'm going to slowly bend the scroll work into shape. Sometimes I need a little help. It's when I pull out the cheater bar. Now I have my first scroll. It's time to bend the other 5. This job requires a lot of elbow grease. Okay, I got my 6 scrolls, my 4 small ones, my 2 bigger ones. Now it's time to lay out the back of the bookcase. These 2 larger pieces become the base of the structure. Now the 4 smaller ones kind of add design to the top of it. Got my welder. Now I need to get my hood and tack weld all the shelves into place. I've got the shelves welded in place. All the scroll work is bent and tack welded in. The next thing I've got to do is flip it over. The piece is really starting to come together now. I can see the motion, I can see the flowing curves that I like in the scroll work, and the shelves are a little off balance the way I like them. I've got the last 3 pieces for the bookcase already cut and bent to shape. 2 go on each side, on the front, and the last one finishes out the back. Time to weld. The next thing I'm going to do is add 3 spheres to the top shelf to support the top curl. Now I need to add a little support to the bottom shelf with 1 last scroll. The last piece of scroll work's in place. The next thing I have to do is add spheres to the bottom to kind of finish off the legs and to give it a little more support. After that, I've got to weld the whole thing up, every joint, make sure that it's real stable. The last thing I've got to do is weld spheres to the ends of each scroll to kind of give it a little pizzazz. I'm going to move on to the brushing. Got to brush the entire piece. Got to look cool when I grind. The grinding's really going to make this piece come alive. It's going to add a lot of shine to it. It's almost finished. The last thing I got to do is apply a clear epoxy enamel coating and I'll be done. The epoxy enamel is going to really brighten up the shelves, make them shine a little bit. It'll brighten up all the scroll work and make all the grind marks and the brushing really come through. Okay, the piece is finished. The bookcase is done. I've already made 4 gravitational bookends that I'm just going to go ahead and slip on there. They'll hold the books in place. And now my surreal bookcase is complete. Now it's ready to be placed in the corner of my home.
Stay tuned. Diane might have made a great first impression.